Sorry for the little delay. We're having a little challenges with the camera, but if we weren't having a challenge with the camera, I was having a challenge with the camera, so I am able now to, you know, get it in place. And I'm so excited because this week we said we mentioned we're gonna speak about this mini series, which is seed time, progression time, and harvest time, or seed progression and harvest time. How can this affect not only in your personal life but also in your financial life or even professional life? So today we're just going to talk a little bit, kind of like an introduction to this series, and most important is the power of timing. And see, I still have a little challenge with the camera. But again, thank you so much for joining me. And welcome, everyone. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Ellie Mae. I'm a financial coach, and I'm here to help individuals or help families save money, make money, and get out of debt. That's a little better. Don't be shy. Let me know in the comments how you. First of all, if this topic resonates with you, and second of all, if you have any tips for me, even if you want to send it directly, any constructive criticism as far as my setup and the camera, I eventually I would have my own crew, but for now, as far as the recordings and the podcasting and the live shows, it's me. I wouldn't get my team to do this. My team is out there, getting to know people and helping people doing the same thing, save money, make money, and get out of debt. But again, like I said, this week we're going to be diving into seed time, progression time, and harvest time framework. It's a simple way on how, to see how powerful it is to understand these three phases as far as our, like I said, again, our finances, which is what I speak about the most, but also in your personal life. The seed time is a period where you prepare, intentionally, plant the seeds so that eventually you can reap. So now, it might be, you got to have a little patience in that period. Don't judge each day based on the harvest that you reap, but more with the seeds that you sow. That's the important part. Yes, we live in a society, this microwave society, everything we want it now. But the important thing is that daily you plant those seeds. Now, the progression time is where you got to have the most patience, right? Watching your seeds grow, or in this example, your savings grow or your investments grow, getting out of debt. That is part of the progression period. The key point is the takeaway is that it's the longest phase, so that's why we have to be more patient. So we don't want you to lose patience, right? Then the harvest time, that is where you see the reward from planting the seeds and watching it grow without messing with it or touching it, and then now seeing your reward. For example, retiring comfortably, paying off your mortgage, having the money set aside for your kids' education, or hit any financial goal. That is your harvest time. So you can't skip from seed straight to harvest. You have to go, you have to plant the seeds, wait for that period, water it, just like if you were a farmer, water it, be patient in the progression time, and then the harvest time is where you see all of those things flourish, the fruit of your labor, if you want to use that word. Now, think of it, like I mentioned, as if it's a garden, right? Whether you're a farmer or you have a nice green thumb, unlike myself, maybe if you live in the city, maybe you're not really planting, but I know not only you have seen movies or know of people that are farmers or that plant, when you go to your local flower shop, those don't just appear, right? There is a time where you have to plant the seeds, but you can't just plant the seed today and expect the fruit or the flower or whatever it is to be there tomorrow. So imagine the patience. Let's go back to the farming. Imagine the patience that farmer has, knowing that he's planting today. Now, mind you, don't quote me so much when it comes to farming and planting, because even though my family knows about it, I don't know much about it. But imagine the patience knowing that, let's say, at this time period of time, that farmer plants those seeds, knowing that maybe not until next spring they're going to flourish, or the vegetables or fruits or trees or whatever it is. I'll give you an example. A good friend of mine, more than 20 years ago, planted the avocado, the avocado seed. And again, I'm just speaking based on what I saw, not that I'm an expert at it, right? I always want to give that disclaimer. And the patience to know that this person planted this seed expecting eventually to have that tree so that they could pick the avocado for themselves instead of going to the market for it. And I myself, this is a long time ago, so, but I myself saw the tree growing, and the patience that this person had to, first they put like a little fence around and make sure that no animals, and they had pets to go and mess it up, and little by little, eventually, whatever time it took, I could tell you now 20 years later because I remember when they planted it, but I don't know at what point they started, the harvest, taking the fruits of the labor. So the same thing with your finances, which is very important, the same thing with your personal life or even your professional life. You have to plant those seeds first and then go through that progression time. Don't lose patience. Don't get anxious. Don't feel like you're doing it wrong. If you're planting the seeds towards what you want, you will get the harvest. But there is a process. That's why when you say you plant, that's the easy part. If you have a green thumb of your farmer, the easy part. But the progression, and I want you to see my hand, the progression time is the longest time. So now, you could tie this into your, like I said, your financial growth, your personal growth, or your professional growth. But building wealth works the same way. You plant the seed by saving and investing, and you nurture it. You keep adding. You can watch it if you want to, but that will give you a little anxiety. So the thing is, how they have this saying, set it and forget it? When you have a savings account or investment account where you set it up that it comes automatically from your bank account, you set it, let's say every pay period. We spoke about, putting money aside, whether it's 10% of your paycheck or of specific amount, you just set it and forget it. So that's you planting the seed. The progression time is just going to work or whatever it is you're doing on your daily, weekly, monthly, and letting all that time. If you take 10% of your paycheck every pay period for a whole year, set it and forget it. Don't worry about it. That's your seed time. That's your planting your seed, but the progression is that whole year. Let's say you're having part of that to do your vacation next year, not this summer, next summer or whenever it is that you take vacation. And that progression time, when you look, the money is there for your vacation. And I'm not saying that everything that you're putting away, that whole 10% is for your vacation. I'm just giving you like an example. The important part is to be patient in that progression time. And in time, you will see the rewards, which is your harvest. So you see, you don't have to be a farmer to understand seed time, progression time, and harvest time. The important part is that as we go to this series this week, we're going to break down each one of them. So I encourage you to let your friends know, maybe even share this podcast, if you're listening to the podcast or if you're watching the live on Facebook, to tag someone so that we could all go through this growing process together. Now, don't skip to the last day, which is the harvest. Just like it is with with our life and our finances, I want you to be here with me every day, because each day is going to feed to the next day. Now, of course, if you are on the third day and you skip, well, then you could go back and watch it. That's the least of it. But I want you to come along in this journey with me, seed time, progression, and harvest time. So tomorrow we'll dive in into seed time. I just today wanted to give you like a little overview of what we're doing this week. So we're going to dive into seed time and how to plant the right seeds in your life and finances. And I might, share some tips and maybe give you a couple of anecdotes, not only of myself, but some of my clients. And we'll start promptly at noon Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, I'm excited for this series. So let your friends know. And if you have any specific questions or as I'm speaking, you could put in comments. I could answer you privately because I know, everybody's situation is different. But make sure you share this video, tag someone, and get ready for this week's mini series. I'm excited when it comes to mini series. It's because you take the topic just like we're excited in watching or binge watching something that the whole season has passed by and we missed it because either work or business, children, and then we're excited to watch the first one and continue the series. Well, the same thing. I'm so excited not only for you, but I'm also excited for myself because the research that I have done to speak to you about this mini series has reminded me and encouraged me to plant more seeds, which is more important. So, this week, seed time, progression time, and harvest time. Or you can seed, progression, and harvest time, whichever way you want to put it. But I want you to be patient with me so that we could, not because of the information, but patient so that you could learn. Come tomorrow excited with your notepad. And if you're at work and you're taking a little break from your lunchtime, well, you could replay it later. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. I'm really excited to be in this new platform as well. So, as I mentioned to you, see you tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, seed time, progression time, and harvest time. And make sure you tag somebody. So bye for now.